Why, hello. Welcome to the Swords and Starships Captain's Cast. I am, of course, your host, Captain Garrett of the Swords and Starships channel, the total humiliation of AAA gaming corporate slop. My God, it's a thing to behold. The Highguard failure it's incredible. You've got to see it. My microphone, Mr. Producer. Yes. I was trying out doing a little bit of live chat sharing the live chat. I don't think it's really working. Get rid of that, Mr. Producer. We'll just get rid of it. Yeah, I don't think it's working. Restream chat. Yes, remove. There we go. All better. You know, Starfleet Academy is too stupid to exist without the name Star Trek. And to wit, I have not bothered to watch it at all because who cares? Really, who cares? Star Trek is over for me. It's over. It had its day. It's gone. But, you know, the strangest thing is happening. This one, nobody cares about Strange New Worlds. Nobody really talks about Discovery anymore. Lower Decks. Gross. But a strange phenomenon is happening with Starfleet Academy where it's just capturing the attention of the normies. It's reinvigorating the hatred, the justifiable hatred of Kurtzman Trek. It's truly putting a exclamation point on Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman's total destruction of Star Trek. So it's kind of interesting. And I thought I would talk about it a little bit. We also have A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is, it turns out, this show I thought was a little bit dopey at first. Not in a bad way, just kind of in a, this is the not serious Game of Thrones show kind of way. It turns out it's pretty brilliant. It turns out it's kind of inspiring. Now, I say kind of, because we need to allow the full season to drop before we can render a final judgment. Listen, I've never trusted Game of Thrones. I just can't. Not since the death of my son. No, I'm just kidding. That's paraphrasing Captain Kirk there. Now, I never have trusted Game of Thrones since the very beginning because it's always been a little hit or miss. I'm one of the rare minority of Game of Thrones fans that even going back to season 1, I had my problems with it. There's a lot of filler in Game of Thrones. But it turns out that it's very layered and complex, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I've been enjoying it a lot, and if it keeps going this way, heroic fantasy fiction might be back on the menu. What's up, Fu Man Blue? I see you there. It's good to see you. Captain's just been away for a while. I'll tell you, you've probably earned, there's no reason not to trust Night of the Seven Kingdoms. When they drew from the books, it was good. I understand, Fu Man. I just, I've not read the books. I'm not an R.R. Martin book reader. I'm just never going to be. I'm not interested in reading his books because he doesn't finish them. Speaking of finishing books, we have a Galaxy-born update, which we'll talk about shortly. Hail, Michael Archangel. Good to see you. Finishing up yesterday's F&T, and now Captain is streaming. Yeah, F&T can wait, Michael Archangel. You need to be here on the Swords of Starships channel. And if you want more Captain's Cast live streams, put a like on the video. Do it, as the Chancellor Palpatine would say. Well, listen, even if, Fu Man Blue, the books are marvelous, brilliant, wonderful, nothing to critique whatsoever, it is still being adapted by the same industry that has destroyed so much. So you will forgive me if I am skeptical. I'm not even saying I don't trust it'll be great. I fully expect it's going to be wonderful. I'm just telling you, I remain skeptical. Skeptical is not the same thing as cynical. it's not even the same thing as doubtful. It just means I'm reserving judgment until I get more information. Redoubt Productions is in the chat and says, alas, I fear I'll be missing out on this live return of the captain, but fear not. The president of this channel's chapter of the K-pop Demon Hunters fan club shall catch the replay in due time. Well, that's wonderful to hear, Redoubt. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, these streams are a little bit less frequent in this season, and that's because, my primary goal has been and continues to be producing original creative works. As you can see, my own novel number 2, and novel number 1 right behind me there. That would be the Blood and Oak series. Epic sword and sails adventures set during the era of the Barbary Wars, the United States Navy, facing the threat of Muslim invaders enslaving American crews and what to do about it. And that forms the historical backdrop of a romantic swords and pistols, epic tall ships adventure. However, there are other horizons I wish to explore. Now, I started this channel because I love stories. I love diagnosing them. I love critiquing them. I love understanding them. I mean, really, anything and everything that I talk about on this channel stems from a single source, which is that I seek to understand the story. It's what I live for. And it's the foundation of all of my opinions about stories, because really every time something pleases me or displeases me, I immediately want to understand why. Why? It's an obsession that's kind of a superpower. It really is. Now, naturally, it makes sense to have a YouTube channel. It is a means by which I can cultivate an audience, reach an audience directly, get my thoughts out there, talk about what's wrong or what's right with storytelling. But that's not my primary goal. My highest goal is not to create a successful YouTube channel. It is one of my goals, and an important one, but it's a supporting goal. My main objective is the creation of original stories. That is what we're after, and this is the cover of my upcoming novel series, Galaxy Born, that I am working on immediately. This is volume 1. Volume 1. There's going to be multiple volumes, and my goal is to release multiple volumes per year. Do you remember when a Star Trek episode would drop, or a Stargate episode, or a Babylon 5 episode, and they would always open with that same familiar sight or sound? In the case of Stargate, it always starts with the Stargate swirling open, the alarm klaxon going off, and you know that something is going to end. And with Star Trek, it was always, you would see the ship in space, you would hear some kind of musical score that reminded you of Star Trek, and then you would be there with the captain, or there with the crew, or a captain's log, or something like that. In other words, it wasn't like the next chapter in a bingeable series. It wasn't episode 7 out of 8 that's telling you an 8-hour movie. It was returning home. It was returning to your characters again and again and again, and knowing that week after week, year after year, they would be there for you, and with them, through their eyes, you would experience the galaxy, the stars, new civilizations. And that's essentially what I'm trying to create with Galaxy Born, and that work takes priority. So we're doing the live streams a little less frequently. They will kick back up soon. The YouTube channel is due to be relaunched this year soon. I'm relaunching with a secondary channel to sort of reset the algorithm. but this is my primary work, and I've been working on it a lot. And it's starting to really pick up momentum. And I'm even thinking that Volume 1, the complete rough draft of Volume 1, might even be complete by, it's aggressive, but maybe by the end of March. Now, once I have a complete rough draft, the remaining work goes much faster because then it's just rewriting, revising, beta reading, and hopefully a finished product is launching later this year. That's essentially the goal. Now, part of why there's an upfront time span here is that I don't want to release a book and then have it be 6 months, 10 months, 18 months until you get another one. I just don't want that. So I'm kind of doing a lot of work up front to ensure that once Volume 1 drops, the next volume is right around the corner. I just think that's very important. So in a perfect world, every 3 months there's a new volume. First couple are not going to be like that because, we're just getting some momentum. But once this thing gets going, it's going to be every 3 months, a new volume. Maybe faster. Maybe even faster turnaround. We'll see. We will see. But anyway, so that's why it's a little less frequent. But I still want to hang out with you guys. It's just too much fun. So this Highguard situation is so hilarious. I think it's so funny. Oh my God, it's a great time. It's a great time to be an independent creator because the competition is fat, thick, in the head, and lazy. Wait until you see the total humiliation and defeat of Highguard is our victory against the forces of corporatism and media cronyism and just the general industry of laundered lies and gaslighting, trying to force us to like games that are trash. Our victory has been so comprehensive against AAA gaming. You are not going to believe the absolute humiliating defeat that we, the consumer, the customer, the gamer, have inflicted on an industry that has sought to destroy our hobby and transmute it into something gross. Wait until you see. It's great news. It's great news. Starfleet is in the chat and says, evening, people. Why, good evening, Starfleet. Good to see you. We have Michael Archangel. I hope I didn't guilt you into this live stream. Impossible, Michael Archangel. I'm impervious to guilt. I mastered that long ago. I've been working on this. Highguard is I think there's a reason why this one hit me so specifically. Now it's important because it really is one of the greatest. We've had many victories over the last couple of years. Just think about where we were 5 years ago. Mr. Producer, I think I need the music, okay? Yeah, bring it up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now, if it's too loud, let me know. But think about where we were just 5 years ago. After Gamergate, the science was settled. Gamers were vile, disgusting gooners. Misogynists, all of them. And, I'll never forget, there was this episode of Law and Order SVU. That would be the Special Victims Unit, the good one. The one with sexually based offenses. It's like an old comedian joke. Anyway, this episode was about how there was this woman who was the CEO, or no, she wasn't like the CEO. She was like the top developer, like the director. What do you call that? Like, what's Casey Hudson to Mass Effect? He's like the chief producer, whatever. Anyway, she was in charge of the production of this video game in the episode, and all these evil, slobbering gamers threatened her. and Olivia Benson, the detective, the whole episode is basically about how gamers are all basically, how can I put this delicately, non-consensual pursuers of women. Okay, let's just say that, so that we don't have to trot out the R word. Now, that's basically what the episode is implying, that gamers hate all women, hate women being in charge of anything in a game, and will physically and you know what assault women. Okay, that was the whole thrust of the episode. And I remember seeing this and being like, what the hell? Where is this coming from? That was the narrative. And it could not be opposed. And if you tried to oppose it, you would be censored. Where we are today, every single one of these woke disasters is dead on arrival. You should see. They just had the Xbox CEO that they chose. She is getting roasted and destroyed on X, not even by the male gamers. She's getting destroyed by Madam Savvy and Vera Dark, who are female streamers, destroying her. Nothing hateful, nothing ad hominem. They're literally just taking her to task on her gamer record. They're throwing her bullshit back in her face. She's got all these fake corporate engagement posts. It's a miraculous thing to see. We are winning. We are winning. Highguard at every single level, aesthetically, gameplay, the media shillery, all of it rejected. And the devs admitted defeat. They canceled it. It's not even just Highguard. We've had 2 more in as many weeks. Relooted, DOA. 1348, barely 100 concurrent players for the test. The total humiliation and destruction of the legacy game media, the woke wackos who've been destroying and assaulting all of the tropes we hold dear, and on top of all of it, a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms about a tall, strong, masculine hero who even prefers women, who stands up for the innocent, who believes in chivalry, who is surrounded by corruption and villainy, nonetheless stands for honor, for duty, and he triumphs. And the internet explodes in thunderous applause. That is the world we live in today. That is our world, gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about it. There was the shit Mass Effect game that didn't help, Star Fury says. Are you talking about Andromeda? You might be. Okay, now, before we dive deeper into all of the delicious, just delectable AAA gaming failure. Oh my God, wait till you see it. Woke, wacko games going broke. Oh, you're going to love it, chat. You're just going to love it. You know why? Because I loved it. It's delicious. But before we get to that, we have something else we need to cover. Now, I've been dying here because I have not seen the Mandalorian Grogu Super Bowl spot that just like, I guess it was a total disaster and everybody's making fun of it. They're like, it's so bad. And I resisted the urge to watch it because I was like, no, I got to save that for the Captain's Cast. That's where I got to watch it. So I'm going to pull this up. I have not seen this. It's just a little TV spot. I have not actually seen this. I want to see what all the fuss is about. I want to see just how bad Lucasfilm shit the bed here. And let me make sure I've enabled audio. Okay, here we go. Let's just see. I haven't even put a like. I haven't put a like or a dislike. This is the Super Bowl spot for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay, let me fix the aspect ratio there. It's a little out of whack here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Roll tape, Mr. Producer. Let's just check this out, shall we?
Sometimes we choose our path. Other times the path chooses us. Through it all, we keep pushing forward, driven by a deeper purpose, guided by an unseen force. The journey never gets any easier. The bond just gets harder to break. This is the way.
Only in theaters and IMAX May 22nd.
So that's Star Wars these days, huh? Remember how, like, it was on a previous Captain's Cast stream. We were watching the shills. There was that one shill. The one shill that predicted this movie's going to make $2 billion. The same shill. He predicted the movie's going to make $2 billion. I should find out what their names are. But Mr. Grizzy never says what their names are, so I don't know what their names are. Maybe he might say it once in a while. Anyway, this shill was predicting. He's like, I'm just a little bit not as excited. I want to see something on the Super Bowl. I want to see, they need to drop a trailer that's going to get us really excited. That's going to give us something. And they do this stupid, like, beer commercial version of it. Yeah, nobody wants to see the Star Wars universe as our universe Super Bowl beer commercial. Nobody wants to see that. Star Wars is supposed to be a galaxy far, far away. So it just shows the total lack of reverence they have for any of it. See, this is the problem. This ties in with Highguard, and it ties in with Starfleet Academy, and it ties in with the entire ecosystem of why this new Xbox CEO babe is going to fail. She's the Cracker Barrel CEO again. That's what she is. She's the Cracker Barrel CEO. She has no experience in gaming. She doesn't give a flip about it. She doesn't give a frack about it. She doesn't care. She's just a corporate goon. She's a corporate boardroom climber. That's all she is. That's her skill. It's what she's good at. I just want to throw up when I see her posts on X, because they're just the most safe, sanitized, PR laundered, corporate, vanilla, just engagement farming slop. It's like I've lived this too many times in my life. I've lived the corporate world. They have cycled all of her replies through the lawyers and the marketing team. It's so she can't say anything authentic. She doesn't even. Everything she says is practically a pre-planned response. And it all just ties back to the fact that they don't care about these characters. They don't care about the world. They don't truly love it. They don't truly understand it. And therefore, they lack the language or whatever is required to produce something amazing. When are people going to stop calling Grogu? It's Baby Yoda. Yeah. Do you know the Upside Down in Stranger Things was supposed to be called the Veil of Shadows? It's incredible to me that I respected the Duffer Brothers. I mistakenly thought that they were the reason that Stranger Things was so brilliant, and at least in the early seasons. And what's really interesting is Mahler, the surgeon, he came out with an EFAP mini that like breaks down the documentary of the Duffer Brothers. They are like Jeff Loveness of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. They are dumb, folks. Folks, they are stupid. I can't even believe how dumb they are. The stuff they say, the way they think, it's unbelievable. It's a miracle that show wasn't terrible. Anyway, And so when you think about it, the fact that they fail to see how brilliant the term upside down is and how natural it is and how you're like, that's the term. That's what you call it. The fact that they still thought it should be called the Veil of Shadows just goes to show you how like in their own head about it they are. And my point is, Baby Yoda is kind of the same phenomenon. They spent so long not explaining his origin. They spent so long like stringing you along with filler and non-answers about him that they spread so much of the lore of what he might be across so many episodes that by the time they finally revealed his name, it landed as kind of dumb. It was like when that guy, what was that YouTuber? Or he's a Twitch streamer or something. What was his name? Dream or something? Who was that streamer? Streamer who revealed his face and he got completely destroyed online. Everyone's like, he's ugly, he's gross, he's disgusting. He's a very unfortunate looking man, is essentially the consensus. Minecraft creator Dream, who notoriously revealed his face in October 2022 after years. Oh, this poor guy. Yeah. He had like this globe smiley face persona, and then he decided to just reveal. And yeah, he's not a bad looking guy, but he's not exactly Brad Pitt either. So, and he got the full blown Bella Ramsey treatment. Oh, anyway. What was my point with that, Mr. Producer? I got completely distracted. Oh, yeah. That's what the name Grogu is like. The name Grogu is like when the streamer Dream revealed his face, and it went over like a lead balloon. And everyone basically decided he was the male Bella Ramsey. That's what the name Grogu is. Nobody thinks of him as Grogu. What the fuck is that? Even the title Baby Yoda. Why was he called Baby Yoda? Because we didn't know what else to call him. Because there was nothing else you could say about him. And in retrospect, mind, there was nothing else to him substantive. He represented a reference to Yoda. That's all he really represented. So by the time they got around to filling in some blanks, it was pointless. So I take your point, Michael Archangel. I really do. Disney makes retards look like geniuses, says Star Fury. Yeah, they do. They really do. Fu Man, the Super Bowl spot gave me another heart. I was, oh, geez, Star Fury, well, your blood pressure. You've got to watch your blood pressure. Fu Man Blue, I task you with keeping Star Fury's blood pressure acceptable. That is your responsibility, sir. It's important. It's important that we help our dear Star Fury remain on the mend. On the mend. Now, there is a type of fan who is very excited about the Super Bowl ad. They think the name Grogu is perfect. They think this name is going to make $2 billion. That's right, Fu Man. And they are what is known as a shill. Shills, if you don't know what a shill is, the simplest way I can put it is they're disgusting. They're disgusting. It's not their fault. They suffer from a disease. It's called shillery by proxy. It's very diagnosable, but completely untreatable, incurable. The prognosis, I regret to inform you, is grim. It's not really much you can do for them, but there is a man who dedicates his life to studying the shill. His name is Mr. Grizzy. He's a humanitarian, you might say. He is studying the shill so that their disease, hopefully, can be contained, quarantined, prevented from spreading to the rest of normal, regular humanity. Now, I even have a couple of videos. So let's just go with this one first because it's a two-parter. because they were very upset. They were very mad that people say it, don't spray it, Captain. They were very mad that people didn't like this. They didn't like the Super Bowl beer commercial. The fucking beer. Imagine if they had done this with like Luke Skywalker or something. They're trying so hard to be relevant. It's really sad. I almost feel sorry for him. Yeah, it's like the Highguard guy. Wait till I get to that loser. Oh, I have so much to say about that. But first, hat tip Mr. Grizzy.
Can I preface this episode with saying that I'm probably going to crash out a little bit. I actually had to stay off Instagram today because I was just even more agitated by what people were saying online.
Imagine being this much of a pussy. Imagine being this much of a fucking pussy. How could you live with yourself? How could you call yourself a man? Did I enable audio? Oh, thank God. I would have had to wear the bib. That's the rule. The bib that Fu Man Blue gave me at a Nerdrotic meetup, I would have to wear if I didn't enable audio. But fortunately, Mr. Producer was very alert and with great alacrity, you might even say unusual, uncharacteristic alacrity, ensured that the audio settings were correct.
Pussy.
I dislike that people disliked that ad because I really liked it.
This is some nonsense. They're triggering me.
Toxic positivity is just as common and perhaps even more common than toxic negativity.
Yeah, and this is now toxic positivity is an ailment that most horrifically afflicts my generation, the millennials. Technically, I'm a zillennial. That is, I'm right on the fault line between Generation X and Millennial, and we are very rare and unique. You see, we lived in a world that was both analog and digital. You know, unlike our dear Starfleet, who lived well before the internet or any, and was very used to the analog, or like Redoubt Productions, who grew up in an era just, awash in the internet and social media. I grew up on the fault line between those two states. I've lived life both ways. And I can tell you right now, this was a big problem in the 90s, toxic positivity. It was about how we had been, and it was, in some respects, a response to the, at times, too puritanical ethic of the American mind, that to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, It is possible that at times we went a little too far with that. And the new wave psychological movement in the 90s was aimed at more of the carrot and less of the stick. The problem is now they've gone too far, and they've created an entire generation of absolute pussies. It's so bad, and it's created what we now know. What we know is toxic positivity. And you know something? Corporate America is a big source of this. Because in the corporate world, it's just like newspeak in George Orwell's 1984. Even when you're explaining something that's bad, you have to say it in a good way. For example, if someone at work fucks up, they didn't fuck up. It's a learning opportunity or a teachable moment. If sales are dipping at the company, that is to say, no one's buying our shit, it means we have a pivot opportunity. We have a marketing learning project ahead of ourselves. This is partly why AAA gaming is so bad. That's partly why it's so awful, because they live in a culture where you can never acknowledge that, like, bruh, your game sucks. And nobody likes it. Bella Ramsey's ugly, and she's not interesting. Did I say that? I meant unfortunate looking. Now, like Dream. Now, that's the problem with these poor shills. They have their brains have been turned to mush. Mush. From the world I grew up in.
Especially in the Disney Star Wars fandom. For example, that god-awful Mandalorian and Grogu Super Bowl ad was fun. Cue the compilation.
Yeah, Fu Man. Dude. Yes. Participation trophies. That's it. Yeah, no, that's exactly. The 90s was when that happened. Michael Archangel says, you're quoting me. He says, Captain, I'm not a doctor, but I can write an incredible sci-fi series. I've never said I'm a doctor. I'm a captain. That's a very different gig. I achieved the rank of captain through many painstaking, difficult, hard-won years of fictional maritime service. Starfleet says, frack you, Captain. True, though, me and Moses best friends, we got pissed on wine and chiseled those tablets. I am going to puzzle over that comment for some time, Starfleet. Roll tape.
Dude, it's fun.
It's a fun little spot.
This is so much fun. And it was funny. We were supposed to enjoy it.
Why does he sound angry? Why does he sound so mad when he says that? Have you noticed that? He's like, this is so much fun. He sounds like he's taking a dump.
Spot.
This is so much fun. And it was funny, and we were supposed to enjoy it, and you're supposed to have fun because you're eating chips. Kind of the idea is it's supposed to be more fun.
I had fun with your mama last night.
But to have something like this is so different and fun.
But stuff like this where they do a fun Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
Where it's
Oh, you're saying you're old enough that you were friends with Moses. I get it. That's very clever, Starfury. Very clever.
supposed to be a beer commercial is exactly what me wants.
Yeah, too bad Disney Lucasfilm isn't making Star Wars specifically for you, because if they were, they probably already would have failed and sold it.
It was fun. It was fun. And we had fun.
And for those of you who did not like this ad, you're no fun.
Do you guys hate fun? Do people hate fun?
Well, my friends and I, we have fun ripping on Disney Star Wars. Clearly, we have more fun doing that than you do enjoying it.
But everybody's like, oh, Star Wars takes itself too seriously now with Andor. Or, oh, man, I wish Star Wars...
I never said that. Did I ever say that, Shill? You shut your mouth, Shill.
Back like the old days. We're here! They made a beer commercial with Tauntauns running like Clydesdales.
I get dressed
Do they even hear themselves?
in the morning. I'm triggered. I take a shower. I'm triggered. I get in the car. I'm triggered.
That is so cool.
Like
And with
on
all
a Star Wars carriage and
Are
stuff.
you kidding me? Sam Elliott, who does the voice of like Home Depot commercials, said this is the way.
Wow.
Here's what I would like to say to this Shill. Morons like you, Shill, are the reason that 95% of all entertainment and culture has turned into brain-dead garbage. Fucking garbage. Written by stupid people and then lapped up by even dumber people like you.
Now, Sam Elliott said this is the way, you guys. That is so fucking cool, and that makes the trailer good.
This is so much fun.
The only line in this ad that I actually kind of liked was this one right here.
The journey never gets any easier.
Because indeed, it never gets any easier being a Disney Star Wars fan.
Everybody wants every trailer.
You know, it's so funny. They are at the end of their rope, folks. They really are. Like every single thing. This movie is going to be a wet fart. It is just going to, it is going to be mediocre at best. You know what it's going to be like? This is my prediction. I predict that Mandalorian and Grogu, best case scenario, it lands something like Fantastic Four First Steps. It's going to get a little bit of energy. People are going to go see it because it's Star Wars in the theater. It's not going to make a lot. And the shills are going to take that as a sign that it's really, really good. People are seeing it. It's making some money. And then it's going to go off a cliff and everyone's going to forget that it existed inside of like 4 weeks. That's basically my prediction for Mandalorian and Grogu. But it's also possible, folks, if it is a total failure, oh my God, the meltdowns are going to be biblical. They're going to be so delectable. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. They can't take it because understand that people like this need everyone else to agree with them. They need to believe that they are surrounded by people who agree with them. They need to believe that their worldview is ubiquitous, that it is in control, that everyone in the culture agrees with them. That's what they need to believe. And all they see when they look around them is that nobody likes their shit anymore. And it's driving them insane.
To be, oh, it's this big event. This is exactly what happened with The Acolyte, where enough people were like, this is blah, blah, blah. I wish I had a trailer. Dog. Everything isn't a doomsday countdown.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be. But people don't like fun, and they put themselves in this world of like,
fun.
It's
fun.
It needs to be this big epic thing.
This is the first movie back in theaters after a 7-year hiatus. It needs to be big. It needs to be epic, or at the very least, marketed decently. And here's the real truth that I'm sure
it's gonna be so dumb. There's not going to be any story to it. It's going to be such a waste of time.
Shills do not want to hear. The reason it's not big, the reason it's not epic, the reason it's not marketed even decently is because Disney Lucasfilm knows that this movie is trash. And Disney Lucasfilm knows that people are going to be disappointed. So
you know what? Grizzy's take is actually pretty brilliant here. You know, I almost am tempted to revise my prediction because I'm sort of predicting a mediocre performance at the box office, a la Fantastic Four First Steps. It's kind of roughly, or maybe like Captain America, Captain Mothman, you know. But Grizzy's pointing out something interesting here, which is that the reason that this little teaser, this little commercial was a beer commercial for The Mandalorian and not like a trailer, a reveal, a shocking scene from the movie. Why not? Why wasn't it any of those things? Because they know that there is nothing in this movie. There's nothing in it. It's 2 hours of filler garbage. It's 2 hours of Baby Yoda making cute baby noises. It's 2 hours of Din Djarin saying, "This is the way." That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. And they freaking know it. They know it's going to suck. I need to chill because I have neighbors. I got to get it out before it gets too late, okay? Now, that could mean that it is going to be a disaster. It is going to be a failure. It is going to be a humiliation. I want to put a poll in the chat because now I'm curious. I'm curious what you think. Okay, here we go. Will Mandalorian, is it Mandalorian? Yeah. And Grogu be mediocre and forgotten? a total flopbuster embarrassment, or a $2 billion triumph? Start the poll, Mr. Producer. Start it now. Did it start? I can't tell. Can't tell if I did it. Did I do it? Oh, there it goes. Okay, we got it. There it is. There it is. I'm curious what you think. Roll tape.
They're trying to get out ahead of it with this nothing teaser trailer that they did and this retarded Super Bowl ad that they did.
Yep.
And people are like, "Oh, we need to know what it's about." You're crazy.
I don't think
I don't understand.
Because that's a weird thing is like, especially with like MCU stuff too, it would always be like,
you're crazy if you want more information as to what's in this movie, and this guy's so triggered he can't even sit still. Now, just prior to this, they go on a little rant saying, we don't need anything else. The movie is about Mando and Grogu, and Mando passing the torch on to Grogu as a lead character in Star Wars.
He's still a baby.
That's the little frog guy.
He's a
and that's
puppet
the guy in
baby.
The armor. They're probably going to get up to some adventures. That's all you need to know.
Okay, fine, but that's not going to drum up excitement. That's not going to get people talking.
And
the thing
anything where people say there's no source material, this is what she meant. This is not a story that has been told. Mando Grogu is not Batman. He's a little green alien puppet.
I got a question. Who's the villain in this movie? Like, take Doomsday, for example. We've known about RDJ being Doom for years now.
It's a great
and
point.
Like it or hate it, you can't deny that it's certainly gotten people talking. We are 3.5 months away from The Mandalorian and Grogu releasing, and we don't even know who the villain is. That is crazy to me. They should have revealed that in the Super Bowl ad instead of this bullshit. Anyway, the chat starts getting in on the action. This is
That's
such
a
major
good point.
from the usual types. There was nothing fun about the Mando ad, just more mediocre crap. Uh-oh, you can't say that.
Oh, that's what his own chat said. Oh, that's amazing.
There's nothing fun about it. Like, it's fun, dude. It's like
their own chat. That's so funny. I gotta move my mug here. Hang on. No, there we go. This is what their chat says. This is such a major cope from the usual types. There was nothing fun about the Mando ad, just more mediocre crap. Oh, like I said, man, it's so delicious.
It's fun, dude. How dare you, Aussie 1397, not have fun? We got fucking Tauntauns back, dude.
Like, I don't...
Dog, we haven't had a Tauntaun back since The Empire Strikes Back, and we see Tauntauns riding... Dude, you guys don't... That was like SNL. Do you guys not like fun? The Mandalorian and Grogu and the Super Bowl was fun.
The problem is nobody knows what the Mando is about, says this comment. And that exactly. Their own chat is saying what's obvious. Nobody knows what these movies are about.
We're not being disrespectful of your opinion. Will is not being disrespectful of your opinion.
All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. I'm sure...
Oh, that was wonderful. Amazing part 2 now. Part 2. Let me grab this. Here we go.
Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, hello. As you can see, it's quite difficult being the pet of a Disney Star Wars shill. Especially when you are literally the only pussy he ever gets.
Coming to cinemas this May, a movie that I'm sure Disney Lucasfilm is relieved they only spent $160 million on.
Fuck yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu.
The glorified babysitter of the retarded puppet.
I have high expectations for this trailer.
I am so ready for this. My body is so ready for this.
Official trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu.
What if, poor Dream, Dream gets this really bad rap for being, oh my God, he's ugly. He doesn't look like Robert Pattinson. He's ugly. And it's like, well, he could have taken off that helmet and he could have looked like this.
I'm so ready for this.
Like, what? He could have looked like that. That would have been way worse, man. The poor guy.
My body is so ready for this.
Official trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu. Can't wait. Here we go.
What the fuck?
Oh, is this the Starfighter one?
It's Mando.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mando.
Disappointed! Please be good for the love
the
of God.
lightsaber is red.
Trailer.
Damn, it looks really good, dude. I love the theme.
Just the intro in itself, the way the X-Wings were coming in with the sunset backdrop, that R2 unit.
It could have been AI generated. It could have been, it's so generic. It's so obvious. It could have been literally just a grok video.
The whole thing gave me feels of like Top Gun.
Evoking Top Gun. Sure.
Michael Archangel. The Star Wars. It's funny.
Bullshit.
Wait, what the frick? Did the Razor Crest get healed?
Smack that dumb bitch!
I've missed the Razor Crest. It's such a good ship.
Okay, so what happened to the Naboo fighter?
Don't ask questions.
He looks good. Razor Crest looks good.
I remember when they they're like, oh, he's getting a new ship, and they introduced the Naboo fighter, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no cargo space. There's no cargo storage. He's got no living quarters. There's no character to that. That doesn't make sense at all. The Razor Crest is like a home. It's a base of operations. It's like they're such illiterates, the creators of this. How did Jon Favreau fall so far? It's really Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau have just absolutely screwed the pooch.
Nice.
Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
That's dope. Okay. That's cool.
Oh my God. What is this?
Yeah, I got an erection.
All suffer. You will suffer.
He's got his mask off. Oh, it's Embo.
That is Embo. Oh!
Embo? Pedro Pascal, what the hell? And Embo, what the flip?
I know who that is. I know who it is, you guys!
Embo! That was Embo!
Yes!
I'm so keen for yes! Oh, the king!
God.
Sit down, you big stupid head!
Oh my God, more, oh my God.
You know it's almost as if these people are putting on a performance.
I'm gonna cry, I'm so excited.
In the hopes that Disney Lucasfilm sees their reactions and rewards them for selling out.
It comes out 3.
Oh, this is fascinating. So he's got pictures of her commenting, hey, at Star Wars, shooting my shot. Remember how you used my footage for the Mandalorian promo reel on YouTube? I think it would be pretty cool to also attend the Mando movie premiere, as it's 3 days before my 30th birthday, and Grogu is my life, as everyone is unfortunately aware of. I will... Wait, no way. This can't be real. I will sell out and do as much promo as you want. This show movie means everything to me. Okay, that's not really what she said.
3 days before my birthday. So if Lucasfilm...
The second one, I think Grizzy edited. There's no way. There's no way she said that.
So if Lucasfilm, if you're listening, and you have any premieres in the UK, I would love to go.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Disney really said, yeah, when we got Pedro Pascal, we're putting his beautiful cheeks on the screen.
Damn whore. Are you scared?
Yes.
You should be.
Oh, sick. That's a dragon snake from the Clone Wars.
Oh my god, helmetless Din! So much helmetless Din! Zeb!
Zeb!
I like this kid.
I like you, Zeb.
So to all of you out there who have extremely low standards when it comes to women, did you know Louise Julie has an OnlyFans? Let's take a closer look and see what she's up to. Got the music going, I see. Now, I wonder what's going to happen next.
Oh, shit!
Take that shit off!
That's mean.
It's a woman fucking a horse.
Yeah.
It was really giving it to her.
God, first time I've ever broken character in my career. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that and move on.
Yo, you could already see the elevated production value.
Elevated production value? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, yes. That's the shit. Yes.
Hey, bro, I don't know, but I think the movie looks good, dude.
What, are you retarded?
This looks great. Has it been a long time for them to do some marketing? Yes, but this looks great.
And honestly, this is perfect. This is all I needed. This is all I needed. I just needed a little something. Just something that we can, I don't know.
Oh, Mr. Grizzy. He is a gentleman, a scholar, a servant of humanity, is Mr. Grizzy. Brilliant. I've slumped down in my chair, Mr. Producer. It's unbecoming. He's, the captain. I feel like one day something like that's gonna get clipped. One day. It's a really sad statement. My hope is that someday I'll be important enough as a YouTube creator to be clipped and memed on when I do something embarrassing. Okay, now we have got to get to the Highguard story. Mr. Grizzy is just a genius, but we have got to get to the Highguard story. So should I do this one? Yeah, I think I should do this one, Mr. Producer. So Asmongold is going to bring us up to speed, okay? It's a bloodbath, folks. So as you may or may not be aware, this game Highguard comes out, okay? Before it comes out, actually, there's the Gamer Awards. And the creator, founder, host of the Gamer Awards, Jeff Keighley, decided to give them a free promotional spot, which is normally purchased at millions of dollars, which was essentially a feature spot where he showed off their trailer. He said, "Oh, this is a great indie game, Highguard. It looks really good." And it's basically a kind of Overwatch mishmash clone. It's all pastels and just ugly, woke-looking characters and just stupid genre, mixing slop. And the gameplay is derivative and boring. It was a complete disaster. It got savaged online. It comes out. It's a complete failure. In fact, let me grab this real quickly, just because there's such a great channel that's chronicling their downfall. Hero Hey, he's so good at this. And he does these short these like 1-2 punch videos just to put it in perspective how bad it is. Share screen, Mr. Producer. There we go. Hat Tip Hero. Hey, I love this YouTuber. I really do.
The official Highguard website has been down for about 5 hours today. As of recording this video, it's at the 5-hour mark. Maybe it'll be back by the time this is uploaded, or maybe not. Maybe it's down all day, or maybe perpetually down at this point. There's complete radio silence about this on the official Highguard account on Twitter. Their last post was on February 12th. There's nothing about the website being down. And again, it's not like it was down for 15, 30 minutes or something and right back up. Like, no, it's going on 5+ hours. Of course, there's a post about the website being down on the official Highguard subreddit, and this comment's actually pretty funny. It reads, "And to think that they believe that at this point, hundreds of thousands of people would be playing the game, clamoring for more, and apparently paying for a whole lot of skins because the game would be just that good. It's hard to have sympathy at large for the development team after A, the lead designer made that post on X, lead designer probably referring to Josh Sobel. Just to clarify, though, Josh claims to be the lead tech artist, but continuing, displaying how internally deluded they were and then indignant with the realities of their product and the market response.
Exactly.
That lead designer deleted their...
That part is so crucial because they had a chance. They had a chance to pivot. They had a chance to listen to feedback. They had a chance to delay the launch. They ignored all of it. This is a classic textbook study in the arrogance and the hubris of not just AAA gaming, but the corporatism and the woke wacko culture. We deserve success because we are the right people with the right ideas and the right aesthetics and the right politics. We are what gaming should be. And because of that, success is owed to us. These people would deplatform YouTubers. They would remove, they are seeking, people like this are seeking the removal of Steam reviews because it's harmful and it hurts our feelings and it makes it hard to gaslight gamers into playing our games. These are arrogant, malevolent, entitled people who have wasted millions and millions of dollars and treat their own customers like dog shit. And they are losing badly. It's remarkable.
Account yesterday, apparently outing yourself and your team as arrogant, out of touch, and entitled in a whiny rant wasn't a good idea. But now we know just how this debacle happened. And you guys know my opinion on this disaster already. I've made multiple videos at length covering both the news and sharing my opinion and how I think this was all handled so terribly in so many different ways. But one thing I may have forgot to mention before that I'm going to bring up really quick is on their official YouTube channel, they've even posted these animated cinematic trailers. And apparently the studio they work with, Blur Studio, costs around $500K on average per minute of animation. So they'll throw millions at that, but then not add basic competitive functions to their game that they're trying to market as a competitive game, and then say they did everything right and were the problem. While the website's down, the game is still technically playable. It's struggling to hold 1K concurrent, but yeah, that's the latest. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll...
All right, so hat tip, hero hate. Now to the Asmongold video. We probably won't do all of it. I'm going to skim parts of it. Let me just skip to this part, okay?
I'm right there. You.
Okay, so first of all, they get absolutely shellacked. Wildlight Studios, it created the game, right? They get absolutely shellacked after their dismal, boring, pathetic trailer. It's very simple. The audience reacted to what they presented. Now, in the days where films, comic books, TV shows, and video games had to earn the audience, had to prove themselves in the market. In other words, they had to be profitable and earn money. In those days, the audience reaction was important. In fact, it was decisive and conclusive, and it resulted in a professionalism that while was not necessarily always in alignment with the audience, it resulted in a professional class. Now, you can say that Hollywood is corrupt and there's always been, shenanigans going on. Of course. It's always been, show business has always been an ugly culture. No one's denying that. But it was at one time a culture of professionalism, and I mean professionalism in the sense of skill, merit, talent, credentials. The people that brought the audience, the ratings, the box office results, the sales, those were the people that the industry listened to, and that required a certain professionalism. Now, in the world where everything is sort of funded by BlackRock and NGOs and other shadowy funds that essentially are laundering money through failing video games, movies, TV shows. In that culture, we, the audience, are the enemy. And when we react to something, we can expect to be told that our opinion is wrong. And so after they got the very raw and honest reaction to their trailer of the audience, they responded by ignoring the feedback of the audience, and when their game was rejected, they claimed review bombing and audience attack, and the result is their total, comprehensive defeat. So, after all of that, Josh Sobel, who is one of the key developers, he's one of the brain trust behind this piece of crap, he decided to respond to all of this negative criticism, and his response is one of the most pathetic things I have ever read. And we're going to break this down a little bit. So he starts by saying, "Apologies for the length. Been wanting to say this for a while. The day leading to the Game Awards 2025 was amongst the most exciting of my life. After 2.5 years of passionately working on Highguard, we were ready to reveal it to the world. The future seemed bright." Close quote. See, remember how I told you that all of these creatives that are hired through DEI or corporatism, they all pat each other on the back, and they're all this toxic positivity cult. They seem to think that the purpose of a video game studio is so that they have a job making games that they're passionate about. They think that the purpose of making a game is so that they have a job making a game, and they can brag on X about how wonderful their life is getting to make games. What they fail to understand is that the purpose of making a video game is to sell it and make money because it's fun and people want to buy it. So right off the bat, he's making an appeal to sympathy and personal I don't even know what you would call it, personal empathy that is completely irrelevant to whether or not he is capable of producing work that will attract an audience. He goes on, "Everyone I knew who had any connection to the team or project had the same sentiments. This is lightning in a bottle. I trust this team wholeheartedly. If there's one project in the industry's world."
He posted,
hang on.
and he was.
I got to go forward a little bit here.
Oh, everyone
there it
I
is.
knew.
Okay. But by the way, I have to do it this way because he deleted this X post. He deleted it because he got absolutely destroyed, as he deserved. He goes, other quotes that his echo chamber told him, "This has mainstream hit written all over it. There's no way this will flop. I could play this game all day." The internal. Where is my music, Mr. Producer? I need my music. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Where is it? This is so perfect. There it is. The internal, pre-reveal feedback, even from unbiased sources, was quite positive, and where it was negative, it was constructive and often actionable. Oh my God. If there's ever been a more corporate speak word than actionable, it was, you know what? It's exactly what I was telling you, right? That's exactly what I was telling you. It's not, the feedback isn't bad. It isn't that anyone hated it. It's that we heard something actionable. People who played the game, including us, had a blast. And since we were an independent, self-published, studio built with royalties in mind, many of us were hoping this could finally be the thing that broke the millennial financial curse. But then the trailer came out, and it was all downhill from there. Oh, you got that right. Content creators love to point out the bias in folks who give positive previews after being flown out for an event, but ignore the fact that when their negative-leaning content gets 10 times the engagement of the positive, they've got just as much incentive to lean into a disingenuous direction, whether consciously or not. I gotta hang on. I need the rest of this. Okay, here we go. Does he have, there was more of this, I'm certain of it. I need, lower the music, Mr. Producer. Lower it. There we go. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking that this is a man who deserved to be making video games. Okay, here we go. Okay, I found it. I got it. All right. Bring it up just a skosh. Okay, here we go. The hate started immediately. In addition to dogpiling on the trailer, I personally came under fire due to my naivete on Twitter, which almost all of my now former coworkers, former, can we get a shout out for the former status of your coworkers? Thank you very much. Learn to code something else. Fired. Sacked. Cashiered, even. Where is my... It's not on a loop, Mr. Producer. I need the music on a loop because we need a soundtrack to the sadness. We need this. There we go. They laughed at me. Which almost all of my now former coworkers had learned to avoid during their previous game launches. That might be part of your problem, sir, madam, or it, however you identify. The fact that you are avoiding the feedback of your potential customers could be part of your problem. Open quote. After setting my Twitter account to private to protect my sanity, many content creators made videos and posts about me and my cowardice, amassing millions of views millions of views. Would it be amazing if you could have amassed millions of players and inadvertently sending hundreds of angry gamers into my replies? Maybe not so inadvertent. They laughed at me for being proud of the game, told me to get out the McDonald's applications they saw Aspen's. Did I tell you? This is delicious. These are the people. Don't shed a tear for these people, chat. They would happily muzzle you. They would happily ban you from ever having a review. They would The level of servitude that they would enslave the creation of video games to, they would censor, they would use DEI to race swap characters, they would absolutely erase everything great about Warhammer 40,000 if they got their hands on it. These are the people destroying our culture, and they thought no one could oppose them. They thought no one could stop them. And look at the absolute defeat, the humiliation. It's what Jeff Sobel deserves. And they mocked me for listing having autism in my bio. How is this real? Which they seemed to think was evidence the game would be woke trash. It was. All of this was very emotionally taxing. There is much constructive criticism that can be and has been said about Highguard's trailer, marketing, and launch, but I don't think it's my place to commentate on that. I also don't think there's any way to know whether the launch would have fared better or worse without the massive spotlight that was thrown onto us in response to the Game Awards trailer placement, but we never got the chance. We were turned into a joke from minute one, largely due to false assumptions about $1 million ad placement, which even prominent journalists soon began to state as fact. Within minutes, it was decided that this game was dead on arrival. It was. Creators now had free rage bait content for a month. Thank you, I appreciate it. Every one of our videos on social media got downvoted to hell. Comment sections were flooded with copy-paste meme phrases such as Conquer 2 and Titanfall 3 died for this. At launch, we received over 14,000 review bombs from users with less than an hour of playtime of our boring dogshit game. Many even didn't finish the required tutorial. You didn't finish the tutorial? Well, then how else are you gonna know how to play our fucking trash game? If you don't finish the tutorial, you'll never get to play as the oddly effeminate lead dude with a stupid modern haircut. If you never finish the tutorial, you'll never know how to fire a machine gun on the back of a flying unicorn in an ancient Viking world powered by starships. Folks, the absolute human tragedy of this. It's staggering. This part's good. Yeah, I gotta play it. Wait, hang on. Okay, pause the music for a second, Mr. Producer. It's because of I can't do both the audio, the music, and the video at the same time, which sucks. It really sucks. All right.
Applications.
so
he actually saw it.
Yeah, he saw it. He saw the Pepe McDonald's meme.
He actually went and saw it. That's crazy. Wow. That's amazing. They laughed at me from proud of the game. It seemed to all think was evident.
Okay. That good. Where's the get me my music back, Mr. Producer. I need it back. I lost it. There it is. It's just hitting even better, right? The music. This might be the best it's ever hit. It's like a joy. I gotta. Okay, wait. No, a little more. Okay, there we go. Dude, he nuked this off of his ex, so I have to do it this way. Okay. in discussions about Highguard, Conquered 2XKO, and such, it is often pointed out by gamers that devs like to blame gamers for their failures, and that's silly! As if gamers have no power. But they do. A lot of it. I'm not saying our failure is purely the fault of gamer culture, it's at least partially. And that the game would have thrived without the negative discourse. Why do you have to say it like that? Yeah, it's discourse. I just don't like the... There's a lot of negative discourse. It's a discourse. But it absolutely played a role. All products are at the whims of the consumers. Oh, look who just arrived at the party. Look who just discovered how business works. That's like saying that all restaurants are at the whims of people enjoying the food. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. These people are stupid people. Jeff Sobel is when I say that these are stupid people that create this garbage like Mandalorian and Grogu, Jeff Sobel is who I'm talking about. Jeff Loveness, who wrote, write is a strong word, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Nausea. Leslie Headland. I mean, these are who I'm talking about. These are stupid people who don't know, they do not belong in this business. All products are at the whims of the consumers, and the consumers put absurd amounts of effort into slandering Highguard, and it worked. Many of Wildlight's former... oh no, it was really genius, wasn't it? It was really just brilliant. It was a gift to humanity. It was the Mona Lisa of video games. Is that about right, Mr. Sobel? Many of Wildlight's former devs will now be forced to assimilate back into McDonald's. I mean, the actual corporate industry many gamers accused Wildlight of being a part of. You see, chat? You failed in your responsibility to make sure that these stupid developers were employed at Wildlight Studios so they wouldn't have to grovel for a job at a corporation. You did this. Now, every time someone thinks about leaving the golden handcuffs behind in favor of making a new multiplayer game the indie way, they'll say, but remembers how gamers didn't give Highguard a chance. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay, hang on. Let's go to... oh, yeah, and then... let me see. Is there more of this? Look how long this is. This is incredible. This guy just went crying. What did he think was going to happen? What was the result he was aiming for? Did he just think there was going to be this outpouring of sympathy on X? The Thunderdome of the internet? He thought it was going to just go so well for him. What? Redoubt Productions is back. Someone hand him a fistful of sleeping pills. Oh, just geez, Starfear, you can't say that. You can't say that on YouTube. Darth Merlin is in the chat. Highguard looks like, that's how I have to say it, Highguard. Looks like warmed over baby vomit. That is a brilliant metaphor, Darth Merlin. There's not a game in existence that I would want to play less. Maybe Conquered. Actually, for me, Dragon Age Veilguard. And we have, our poll is concluded, by the way. Will Mandalorian and Grogu be mediocre and quickly forgotten? 29%. Or a total, a $2 billion triumph, 0. Right about 0.0%. A total flopbuster embarrassment, 71%. I agree with you, Chad. I think you're right about this. I think that, the more I think about it, it's going to be a complete flopbuster. Where was I? Soon, if this pattern continues. Let me spoil the movie for you, Mr. Sobel. This pattern is going to continue. Kill the music, Mr. Producer. I need a different music for this part. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's right, Mr. Sobel. Of Wild Light Studios, Highguard. Your fears, sir, I can confirm. This pattern will continue. The pattern of we, the audience, we, the gamer, we, the film goer, we, the TV watcher, we, the comic book reader. We will continue the pattern. What is the pattern, you ask? Why, the pattern is every time you make one of these corporatized, bloated, overfunded, completely insulated, diluted, woke disasters, we will inflict a defeat upon you. We will vote with our wallets. We will refuse to treat you kindly as you peddle your gaslighting to us. No, we will not be deterred. We will not allow you to steal our hobbies, to steal our characters. You plunder our IPs, you buy them, you pollute them, you change them, you destroy them, and you tell us we are bigots for rejecting your dog shit. You're bad writers, you're bad creators, you're bad business people. You're pretty fucking stupid when it gets right down to it. So make your next woke disaster. Make your next Concord. Make your next Dragon Age Veilguard. Make your next Highguard. Make your next 1348. Make your next Reloaded. We will inflict defeat upon defeat upon defeat for all time. That's right. The pattern will continue. The pattern of your defeat and our ascendance, our victory. The real indie developers who understand who signs their paychecks, they will succeed. They will rise. Knight's Path, Silk Song, Mugenics, Mugenics. They will rise while you are destroyed, humiliated. Because one day, Mr. Sobel, one day, you are going to have to learn the lesson that we're running this ship, not you. That's right. As a matter of fact, there is a great man who put it another way, a brilliant way.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender!
As our dear Starfleet, he puts it, until you remember the customer is who you are meant to be servicing, we will keep showing you we will not accept your corporatized garbage. And that is exactly right, Herr Starfleet. That is exactly the truth. That is the whole point of my segment. In fact, I even forgot to introduce the segment. Do you know what this segment is called? There's a name for this segment. It's something I like to call...
What are you laughing at?
That's right, just a little bit of grave dancing. That's what we like to call it. And if you can believe it, my dear sailors and star nuts, I don't know how you could, but there's more. It's not over. There's more. Shall we conclude this segment of grave dancing? Even if Highguard had a rocky launch. Oh, there it is again. There's that corporate Orwellian double plus good. It's instead of it being bad, it's ungood. It's double plus ungood. Even if Highguard had a rocky launch, you mean, by rocky launch, do you mean a complete, humiliating, catastrophic flop? You had a year of episodes planned. You had months of sequential releases. You had all of your freemium. You had all your in-store, your in-game purchases. You had all of your dream fantasies of all the incredible characters. It was dead in 2 weeks. Is that what you mean by rocky launch? Our independent, self-published, dev-led studio. I'm self-published. Where's all my millions? How come I'm not entitled to millions? With zero AI, oh, that's beautiful. AI would have done better than you, Sobel. You moron. AI would have destroyed you. AI is 10 times more creative than you are. That's the problem. Zero corporate oversight. Pfft. We deserved that. Exactly. Folks, think about this. When you are watching the Captain's Cast, you are watching trenchant, deadly accurate analysis and commentary. What do I always say? I say that these people think they are owed. They deserve. They are supposed to have. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the character of Gul Dukat in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I just watched the episode Waltz again, and it's so good. It's better every time, that episode. He's like, why couldn't the Bajorans just appreciate what I was trying to do for them? You know, talking about being their evil overlord. They think the purpose of them creating Highguard was that they deserved your love. Why can't you just understand? Why can't you just accept your role? Why can't you just be good gamers?
Oh, you think it's slop? That's fine. But we live in a world full of hogs.
He goes on, we deserve better than this. We deserved the bare... God, I can't even stomach it. I want to throw up. The bare minimum of not having our downfall be gleefully manifested. I wish... speaking of gleeful manifestation, my response to that statement is very simple. One more time.
What are you laughing at?
All right, that's enough of that. I wish the best of luck to the few who remain at Wildlight, not fewer every day, and hope that Highguard can stay the course. It's dead already. I still believe in it. Well, that was your mistake. And so do the fans. There aren't any. We reached all 10 of them who continue to champion it on subreddit, Discord, Twitch, and social media. And even though this adventure has come to an abrupt and emotionally challenging close, I don't regret 1 second of it. Yes, you do. Because you then deleted this post, so you certainly regret something. Also, I just want to shout out some incredibly supportive journalists and creators who genuinely made a night and day difference in enduring the past 2 months. All of these folks deserve far more credit. They are media shills. Empathy, intuition, Integrity would be listening to your audience. Integrity would be delivering a quality product. Integrity would be taking responsibility for your craft, for your profession, instead of blaming people for your delusions. If you believe that you can profit by deluding others, you can end only by deluding yourself. That's Earl Nightingale. Brilliant quote. If you believe you can succeed by deluding others, you can only end in deluding yourself. And, well, Mr. Jeff Sobel, that is where you ended. By deluding yourself. Look, even at the end, he still does this toxic positivity love bombing. I believe in it. I don't regret 1 second of it. What a gift it is to have competition that's so lazy. And this brings me back to kind of where I'm at. So here we have this guy go on this long, pathetic, drooling rant about how he was owed, how he deserved, how it wasn't fair, how it was all taken away, how if they only had a better chance, how if only that free multi-million-dollar advertisement hadn't torpedoed them, everything could have been different. If you think that you are going to become an artist for some kind of validation, take it from one. You are headed for pain. A lot of it. You know, there's days where I'm at the keyboard and I can barely face it because Galaxy Board and its future means so much to me. It means so much to me that there are times I can't even go near it. I have to force myself to face that blinking cursor, but I do it because I want it to be great. I want it to be something incredible. I want it to be something worthy of a grand audience. But I also understand that it is not for me to decide. No matter how hard I work, no matter how I suffer, no matter how I lose sleep over it, nothing is promised. Nothing is guaranteed. Art is by its very nature whimsical. It's difficult. It's can you hear the music? Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. You just have to take your shot. And a true professional understands that the craft, at the end of the day, it's not sexy. It's showing up. That's what it is. And when the audience has their say, by God, they have a right to their say. So I just think that the absolute tragedy of Highguard is it is yet another example of the problem writ large with our media culture today, which is that corporations and pacts of ideological wacko activists have built an insulated echo chamber industry in which they are not answerable to the audience, they are not answerable to ratings, they are not answerable to real profit and loss. And that has created a culture in which they are no longer professionals. They don't take responsibility for their craft or their work. Even if you poured your heart into it, even if it was something good, even if the craft was at its peak, it can still fail. And when it does, the last people to blame are the fans. The last people are the reviewers. The last people are the audience. They have a right to their say, no matter how snarky, no matter how seemingly unfair. It is their right. And so, when at last I roll Galaxy Born out into the world, I will face the very same. It will succeed or it will fail, but either way, it will have been mine. It will have been mine. And so the work continues. When did these wackos come to the belief that they're owed a living? When did they forget what they owed their audience? You know, when I say that there are days I can't face the keyboard, it's because of what I want to deliver to the audience. It's because of what I feel I owe them. And believe me, none of this is a plea for your, endorsement, because I have no control over that. I have no control over that whatsoever. All I can do is do the best work that I can. But the thing that makes it difficult is how badly I want to deliver something amazing for an audience. It's how badly I want to deliver something that will give people something to be happy about. You know what I'm saying? Like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You should just see the way people are eating this up. They are eating up this series because they have been starved of this. They've been starved of just a classic hero who is, in his own words, standing up for the innocent, because that's what a true Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is supposed to do. There is such a vacuum in our culture for this. Crowbar the Skull says, just get the book done already. You know what? I'm going as fast as I can, man. But you know what? You're right. Enough said. It's not about me. It's not about my work. It's just my way of saying, I'm not saying that a creative, just because their project failed, just because it didn't work, I'm not saying that they deserve to be pilloried because of that. But when they are arrogant and entitled, they absolutely deserve all of the criticism and the barbs. The problem with Jeff Sobel is not that he's feeling a little down because something he poured his blood, sweat, and tears into failed. It's because he insulted his own audience by implying that they are wrong. That they are wrong. No, sir, Madam Marit. It is you, Jeff Sobel, who is in the wrong. Only you. And can you stand even a little more winning? Okay, let me grab this. Episode 1 of 3 is pretty much done, Crowbar. So I'm working fast. I'm working as fast as I can. I'm hoping that we can get it rolled out by summer. That's like my aggressive timeline. Between summer and fall is kind of like what I'm targeting for Volume 1 of Galaxy Born. It will be worth the wait. I say that. I say that like the Highguard depths. It's going to be good. It's going to be so good. It is, though. It's going to be worth the wait because it's not just that I'm working on the first volume. It's that I want the next couple volumes already moving fast when I drop the first one, so that it's just going to be rapid fire after that. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Share screen, Mr. Producer. Where is my audio? So another stupid, historically illiterate, woke, wacko game is coming out called 1348 about a female lesbian knight, which is not a thing which ever existed. But it's being shoved down our throats like all the slop, and it's not going well. Hat tip yellow flash. We're not going to do the whole video. I just want to get to the delicious part. Okay, so they dropped the 1348 Ex Voto demo on Steam. Look at the result in the Steam charts.
Because the demo's out. And it peaked at 116 players. That's amazing, isn't it? That is quite the concurrent player list. It's kind of funny. And it shows you the microscopic turnout that this kind of stuff brings. They try to push this in almost every piece of media or video game nowadays. They talk about how important it is, how humongous these audiences are. And once again, they don't show up. That loud vocal crowd of people that were praising shit like the Acolyte, they don't show up.
Amen. So 116 players. Do you realize what that actually is? Think about this for a second. that's probably all the people at the studio. That half of the people that account for that 116 players are probably the devs themselves and their buddies. That's basically who's playing it. Their mom and dad are playing it. That's basically what it is. Hey, Mom, I need you to hop on this game. See, I'm so proud. Mr. Producer, remind me to send a copy of Galaxy Born to Mother. Just apropos of nothing. Now, I need to find the next piece of good news. Can you stand even more winning? Try Relooted. The wackos are going down hard. This has been a bloodbath this month. It has been an absolute bloodbath for woke gaming this month. Hat tip angriest man on the internet, Ryan Cannell.
About black people stealing. That we needed.
You can always count on Ryan, to put it delicately. Hang on, I gotta go back because that's too good.
8 months ago that a new game was coming out, finally with the diversity and representation that we needed in the gaming space. We need more black video games. So here comes Relooted, about black people stealing. Yes, indeed. That's the representation, apparently, that we need in the gaming world. Relooted, when it came out, when this trailer was released 8 months ago, didn't exactly go well. 12,000 dislikes to only 1.3 thousand likes.
What is that, a 9-to-1 ratio?
Africans taking back their shit. They're re-looting it from those terrible white people who, I don't know, preserved their culture in museums instead of it getting absolutely annihilated in their third world countries. How terrible. Well, it finally released, and it didn't take long for the mainstream media to start doing everything in their power. The games journalists, the Access Games journalists, the shills out there, they ate it up. They loved it. They gave it glowing reviews, and they celebrated how much it hates white people. Relooted is a big black middle finger to history controlled by white people. Hear me out. What if it doesn't belong in a museum? Relooted is a fine heist game, but it's a better history lesson over there on PC Gamer. The same type of shit. It got so much promotion by these access sites, hundreds of thousands of views when they tweet out about their reviews. So you'd have to imagine that this game, it's just doing crazy numbers. It's doing wild numbers. Unfortunately for Relooted, as it stands right now, we got 35 people playing it. 35 people playing Relooted with a big old whopping 57 all-time peak on the day.
Dude, do you realize? I seriously, this is my theory about this. This Relooted game, I think that this was probably a holdover, like one of those like USAID funds or one of those NGO funds that all this tax money just goes into, or like one of these BlackRock funds for like social credit. This money, they don't even care about making this money back. Some kind of BlackRock or NGO type funded this game as a propaganda piece, had absolutely no interest or concern about it making any money. It's essentially ideological money laundering. That's all it is. That's my theory. 57 peak players. This is my way of delivering to you great news. One of the things I love about Dr. Steve Turley, he's a great political channel. He analyzes all of the polling data, and he always is honest, but he finds the white pill. He always finds it. It's genius. And it always gets me thinking about how toxic positivity is crap. That is false positivity, really, is what we're talking about. So I never want to bring you false positivity on this channel, ever. But at the same time, I'm like, how can I bring my audience, my beloved sailors and starnauts, how can I bring them the white pill? Folks, this is the white pill. Because, yes, it's true that so much of our culture has been just rotted by this sick, ideological worldview that hates Western civilization, which built the world, hates actual history, hates good storytelling. While it is true that they have infested so much of our society, this is evidence. This is data that they're just a bunch of fringe wackos. Nobody likes this shit. And it's being completely ignored and rejected. That is some of the best news I've heard in a long time. This is the data. This is what this is. Thank God for Steam, because this is the data the media can't hide from you.
Of its release. And the even more sad thing about this is that if you look through people who are playing this game online, I would hazard a guess that about half of those people are streaming it just to laugh and make fun of the entire premise of this game.
Yeah.
Certainly, it doesn't look like the audience is loving it. A 2.2 over on Metacritic. And look, bro, only 4 critics have actually reviewed this thing on Metacritic. 4. You do all this, you write all your articles, you slam racist gamers, even though you're the ones that made a video game about black people stealing shit, and only 4 of you go over there and review it. Holy shit. But the audience, not so happy. 36 user ratings. That's almost half the people that actually bought this game. That's kind of crazy. But it didn't take long for the people who made Reloaded to start complaining about gamers talking about their games. Now, this is a post from Master of the TDS. He's got a couple that we're going to pull.
Now, remember when I told you that these people would deplatform, censor, and disallow your opinion? Well, this is the evidence of that exact claim. That's exactly what the Reloaded devs are trying to do. They want the Steam rating system, they want the review system to be censored.
Up here. Ben Mears, it might be Ben Myers, that might be a weird way to spell it, but I'm going to say Ben Mears, CEO and creative director of Reloaded, responds to the backlash the game has been receiving on the Steam forums. And this person, Tegeminis, says this is the Steam forum for Reloaded, and it's all grave dancing, ridoid, culture war, incels.
Just a little bit of grave dancing.
Valve Software is ever going to crack down on this shit? They allow this nonsense to fester on their platform, providing hate mongers a soapbox to spew vile, racist bullshit. Deeply frustrating. So, of all of this stuff, what do you want banned? Right? Like, what do you want banned just in this Steam forum? The target audience looted this game someplace else. Sounds like a joke to me. This is not the way to get any sort of message across. So, how is this funded? Hey, fellow chuds, just somebody memeing. An N. You could argue there might be an intention for that N, but it's just an N. All the races unintentionally helping this game is probably really funny. That dude got a lot of comments. Probably didn't go so well in the comments for him because helping this game? Who's helping this game? This game is an abject fucking failure in every way. The handful of content creators that are streaming it to hundreds or thousands of people and laughing at it, which has not resulted in anyone else playing this fucking game. So the chuds remain. Thank you, devs, for beating DEI, LGBTQ plus inclusive. That's a troll. I'm not white. I'm not black either. So taking an object on the ground is theft. 56 concurrent player peak. Black equals thief. Gaming. Barra Dark protected me from this game. So what of all this stuff do you think needs to be banned? Stop being sensitive little fuckwads that thinks everything needs to get censored if they're making fun of something, if they're mocking something. No wonder you're over there on Blue Sky, you little fucking bitch. But you know who else is on Blue Sky? Ben Mears, the CEO and creative director of the company that made Reloaded. CEO and creative director at Nyamakop, the studio behind Reloaded. This is a screenshot of that. CEO and creative director. So he's in charge of this. Based on the torrid stuff they mark as not against terms of service when it's reported, I doubt they have much interest ever addressing this, which is particularly awful considering you can't turn off forums as a dev. Maybe you can't just completely shut them down, but you can limit it to certain people. You absolutely can. You don't even know what you're fucking talking about. Not shocking, I suppose. And someone says, hey, you can lock a thread pointing to the platform they have moderation power over, blah, blah, blah. He says, we'll look into it. Part of the issue, though, is if you use your moderation powers too much as a dev, there's a cottage industry of YouTubers who make videos about your forums, then drives more bad faith actors there. Now you're just in a lose-lose. You know what would be a win-win scenario? Make a good fucking game. Yes, I agree.
This video is a banger. He absolutely did. You know what would help? Jeff Sobel, Ben Mears. Do you know what would help you? Do you know what would cut through all of this? Make a good game that people want. Have you considered that? Have you tried this strategy?
You didn't allow anyone to comment on your dog shit game. If you censored all the criticism, there would be backlash. But that's what you want to do. You desperately want to censor people who are making fun of your game, but you think that will lead to even more backlash, so you can't. What a terrible predicament you're in, huh? What a terrible predicament. Went through this.
Hat tip. Ryan Cannell, the angriest man on the internet. That was a pretty excellent rant, really. The rants are the best. What? Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the absolute shellacking in the gaming industry. It's so bad. It's so bad. Relooted, 1348, Highguard, failure, defeat. Inflicted by you, my dear audience. You have inflicted this defeat. Continue inflicting defeats. Now, I am a fan of the House of the Dragon show, and I saved the House of the Dragon trailer for this edition of the Captain's Cast because I wanted to react to it live. So it's amazing the things I have to avoid for like the whole week until I get to this live stream. It's one of the reasons I had to do a live stream tonight because it was backing up, you know? You don't want the captain to get too backed up. It's not good. It results in problems. Now, I have not seen this trailer. I mean, I'm not like expecting to just be blown away or anything, but let's just see what happens. I want to watch it with you, my dear Sailors and Stars. Do I have audio, Mr. Producer? Yes, very good. Okay, here we go. Let's full screen that. I hope I don't get any copyright. Nonsense. I might have to trim this segment, just forewarning you. But you should be able to watch this. Can you watch the restream on Kick? I actually don't know that. I don't know if you can. But in any case, that's why you got to catch it live. Here we go. Roll tape.
Where were you?
Alicent came to Dragonstone. She will open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender to me.
You cannot trust her. The king has abdicated the throne. A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings.
I really, you know what my hope for this series is? I just hope it has just a blood-curdling, just nasty ending. I kind of just want it to be just a bloody, awful, just scorched earth ending. And I know, we get enough nihilism as it is, but I'm willing to make an exception. Listen, there are times when it's well made, I can indulge in a little nihilism. I will say, though, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has really changed my perspective on this show a lot. I still like it, but it's like, no, we need more of that. It's actually rather amazing how wonderful George R. R. Martin's universe can be when there's actually heroic characters who don't get beheaded immediately. Like, that's actually kind of nice. it actually turns out that it's a pretty interesting fantasy world for adventuring. And I will say one of the things about Martin's world that I really do love is even though the plot is very larger than life and over the top, and it borders on the melodramatic, the portrayal of medieval politics, medieval culture, medieval competitions is so accurate and so grounded. It's really, I was watching, okay, so the episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms that features an actual battle, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil it just yet. It's pretty new still. But the 5th episode features a pretty serious battle of knights versus knights. This show is so accurate with its portrayal of what medieval combat looked like, felt like, how brutal it was, how freaking powerful a knight was. They really were, to a man-at-arms, they really were like a Jedi. You couldn't really do much against them mano a mano just because their training was so good, their armor was so good. And so anyway, there's a scene in which a knight is picking up his lance on a horse, and a friend of mine was watching it at the time, and he was like, "No, dude, get your sword. Why aren't they getting swords?" And I was like, "No way. You absolutely want to have a lance because you are driving that. You're basically driving a sharp stick at 40 miles an hour into a guy in full armor. You need 40 miles an hour to puncture that armor." And it really portrayed that. And I started explaining why swords and blades were very difficult to use against a knight in full armor because they wouldn't penetrate a lot of the armor. And so this battle portrays that brilliantly in Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So all that is to say, being able to have a heroic tale in the world of Westeros with the grounded medieval culture and combat, it's pretty fantastic, and it really does make this show's brightness a little dimmer to me. It kind of pales in comparison.
You are the Queen of Dragons.
I mean, part of the problem is that Daemon is the only character I sort of root for. He's the only character I sort of like. And Viserys was the only good character in the show that was actually a good person and likable. All these other people are they're absolute scumbags, and they deserve... Actually, you know what? I kind of like Jace. I like Rhaenyra's sons. I actually like them a lot. They're actually pretty good. Pretty much everyone else in this show is a total scumbag that deserves what they're going to get.
You have an absolute power within your grasp.
Soon or late, Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here. It would be the end.
This is the moment you become queen.
When is it coming out? When did it say? June? I have to wait till June. Actually, that's good. Right around June, hopefully, is when Galaxy-Born will be close. Very close. We'll put a like on it, Mr. Producer. The captain will allow that. I mean, it's kind of what I expect. It's what I insist upon. I want to see dragons. I want to see battle and warfare. I want to see Baby Yoda. I want to see the War of the Houses. I want to see Daemon kicking ass. That's what I want to see. And it looks like they're going to deliver, so that's good news. That's good news. Now, I had... What else in the stack of stuff, Mr. Producer? I suppose we should address this. I suppose we should address Starfleet Academy. I sat through Star Trek Picard, and that was what red-pilled me on new Trek. I'm not saying I was wild about it before that, but holy crap, did that just... After Picard, I hated Kurtzman Trek. I hated it. And my hatred got even worse after Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks and all that crap. Now that we arrive at Starfleet Academy, it's kind of just a amusing footnote. It's really strange. It's sort of like just irrelevant at this point. I don't really care that it exists because for me, Star Trek is dead. Stick with me on this, Starfleet. All right, give me 1 minute of the Critical Drinker video, and if you don't like it, we'll move on to something else. Because I'm kind of halfway with you. I haven't seen this video though, and I think it's like 7 minutes. I feel like so what I'm getting at is it's not worth my time to do full reviews of this show, to watch long reviews of it, to like diagnose everything. I honestly don't even really care that much about what's happening in it. Of course, it's a woke disaster. No doubt about it. But here's what is kind of important about it. It's really hitting the zeitgeist, and it's really I think that for the first time, I think it's actually humiliating Alex Kurtzman, this show. Seriously. I think that all the blowback against Discovery and Strange New Worlds and Picard, none of that, even Terry Metalis' brilliant Star Trek Picard Season 3, which clearly was a success, even that was not truly the humiliation that we sought for Alex Kurtzman. Now, I don't know if he's capable of being humiliated because that would require a sense of shame, pride, something like that. I don't know if he's capable of that. I really don't. But if anything in the world can humiliate Paramount Plus and the wackos running Star Trek, if not Kurtzman, I think the writers and creators of this show are being humiliated by this, much like Highguard, much like 1348. I almost feel like this, it felt like this was the final middle finger to Star Trek. I think what's interesting about this show is it's turning out to be, I think, the final victory of the fans, because normies, the mainstream, everyone is taking notice of what an absolute embarrassment this show is. A show written by stupid people. Fucking stupid people who eat glue. If any show could have been described that way, this is that show. Now, let's see what Critical Drinker has to say about it. Roll tape, Mr. Producer.
So, I think it's safe to say that Starfleet Academy hasn't exactly been the resounding success that Paramount were hoping for. What with it failing to chart on the Nielsen ratings at all, crashing out of Paramount's own top 10 within a few weeks of release, the abysmal audience scores on every major review site, and the first episode released free on YouTube gaining less views than an average video of mine. And when the worst happens and everyone's taking a massive...
And don't forget, Spock, the live stream, Gary's live stream of Spock action figure in a chair beat the views on that YouTube episode.
Steaming dump on the massive steaming dump that you've produced, there's only one sensible course of action. Cope. And by golly, did the cope come hard and fast with this one. No, you see, this series...
Starfleet Academy, Darth Merlin, another YouTube... That's a good one.
This is actually good if you look at it from a certain point of view. This show wasn't made for stodgy old Trek fans like you. It was written for the next generation. People are just review bombing this show because it's diverse and progressive, not because it's bad. Star Trek has always been diverse and progressive, so shut up and don't question how this contradicts the previous point. Just like what we tell you to like and be happy, god damn it. I've seen it all, man, or at least I thought I had, but this latest defense has got to be the saddest and most desperate move even I could have imagined, coming courtesy of Subspace Chatter on Substack. Quote, "It seems people, let's call them the usual suspects, began review bombing Star Trek Starfleet Academy almost as soon as it premiered a few weeks ago. These weren't thoughtful critiques, these were folks just reflectively and maliciously slapping the new series with a minimum 1-star rating on review aggregator sites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes." Are you serious? I mean, honestly, I think giving it 1 star is being generous because that implies the presence of something worthwhile in the show, no matter how small or deeply buried. And well, that would be a lie. Is Starfleet Academy perfect? Nope. Is it too cheesy at times? Absolutely. But if we keep complaining and tank its rankings just because it's not how we think Star Trek should be, the only outcome is that it gets cancelled and we get nothing else. Whoa. Wait just a second there, Missy. You're suggesting that people should give this show a free pass because if they're too mean to it, it might kill off Star Trek altogether?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I mean, you understand how insane that is, right? Just accept the absolute dog shit you've been served up on the slim chance that you might be given something slightly less shit at some indeterminate point in the future.
You know what's incredible? That is basically the same argument that Jeff Sobel was making about Highguard. If you don't support Highguard, then the next time that a developer decides to leave the golden handcuffs of a corporate job, they're going to say, but look what happened to Highguard. It's very simple. Starfleet Academy is trash. It's a show that is too stupid to exist without the name Star Trek. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is if it were a generic show about Space Academy cadets that had nothing to do with the Star Trek canon, but it was the exact same show, and it was just something called Space Academy, it would be irrelevant. No one would have heard of it. There'd be no shills defending it. There'd be no legacy media worried about it. It would be nothing. It would be Rebel Moon. That's what it would be. It would be Rebel Moon. Nobody saw it. Nobody cared. Nobody wept for its demise. Rebel Moon is a Star Wars movie. It's based on a rejected Star Wars script that Zack Snyder wrote. Lucasfilm turned it down. So it is effectively a Star Wars movie without the name Star Wars, and it's nothing. It's nothing in the culture. Because it's a Star Wars movie that's too stupid to exist without the name Star Wars. That's what Starfleet Academy is. And more to the point, it deserves to fail. Bad video games, bad writing, and arrogant creatives who do not deserve the responsibility with which they've been trusted deserve to be rejected. They deserve to fail, and Star Trek should end.
How about new?
Call me crazy, but I tend to take the opposite view on this kind of thing. If a company produces a product that basically everyone hates, it's important to let them know just how badly they've fucked up. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing it because you're giving them no incentive to change. Starfleet Academy, just like Section 31 and Discovery before it, is exactly the kind of show that Alex Kurtzman and his gang of hapless retards at Secret Hideout want to make. This is their vision of what Star Trek should be, and if you let them get away with it through some kind of benign indifference in the hopes they'll get better by themselves, then of course they'll keep making more of it because it's exactly what they want to do. They have to be corrected, sir. Fans would be better served finding things in the shows they do like and providing constructive feedback on what they'd like to see more of. Well, therein lies your problem, because I'll be honest here, I can't find anything in this show that I like. The characters, the writing, the set design, the performances, the emotional tone, the themes and ideas, they all have about as much in common with actual Star Trek as I do with Rachel Zegler.
It's Hollywood, baby.
There are literally no redeeming qualities about this show. Every episode is nothing but 60 minutes of soul-sucking, brain-destroying, morale-sapping misery. It's an absolute insult to the Star Trek legacy, an insult to the craft of filmmaking, and an insult to basic human intelligence, and to pretend otherwise is just flat-out lying to yourself. And well, why the fuck should you? The constant drumbeat of "it all sucks" and "everyone needs to be fired" isn't going to result in anything constructive. Instead, it's likely to result in Paramount shelving Trek for another 15 years.
Oh no!
Oh dear, you're threatening me with a good time now, aren't you? But joking aside here,
that's
I
so
think
true.
we've come down to it at last. The crux of the matter. The inescapable truth around which this entire show folds like
An origami chicken.
Fuck me, I can't believe a functional human being wrote that line. Either way though, the result is the same. It's time to let Star Trek die. And believe me, I take no pleasure in saying that, but there it is. This franchise
Well,
is
it's incredible to me how just a shot of the original series or the film Star Trek Generations, it's a different universe. It's a different world. It immediately looks like something worth watching. It's incredible, the difference.
Fucking cooked, man. It's like a blind old incontinent dog that can't walk anymore. As much as you loved it and treasure the good times you had together, keeping it alive in this condition isn't helping anyone. It's just prolonging the inevitable. The truth is that for all intents and purposes, Star Trek died 20 years ago with the cancellation of Enterprise.
Ain't
and
that
fuck
the
me,
truth?
As stale and mediocre as that show was at the time, it's a god.
It was not mediocre. The first season was a little bit mediocre, but it really became it became a brilliant show in season 3 and 4 for sure.
Damn masterpiece.
And there were season 2 episodes that really were amazing.
Compared to anything we've had since. Yeah, we've been treated to some big, flashy space action movies with the Star Trek name plastered over them, and we got a little nostalgic glimmer of past glory with that final season of Picard, but for all intents and purposes, the spirit of Star Trek died a long time ago. All that's left now is a shambling zombie franchise, kept going with increasingly desperate TV shows that nobody asked for and even fewer people enjoy. The idea of shelving this franchise and just letting it rest for 10 or 15 years sounds like exactly what it needs. It needs a fucking break. It needs time for the wounds of Kurtzman Trek to heal. It needs time for the fandom to feel nostalgia for what once was, and anticipation for something new. And more importantly, it needs time for a new generation of writers and creatives to take the helm, because nothing in Star Trek is going to change unless you do something about the people making it. No matter how you try to spin it, the fact is that nothing good is being accomplished by Kurtzman and his team anymore. After almost a decade in control of this franchise, they haven't grown the fandom, they haven't elevated the Star Trek brand to greater cultural awareness, and from a purely business point of view, they haven't made a single fucking penny for Paramount. Nobody's buying Star Trek merch or box sets or taking out Paramount Plus subscriptions to watch Star Trek Discovery. It would be quicker to dump $100 million into a pile and just light the fucking thing on fire. At least that would look cool. Normally I take no pleasure in the idea of people losing their jobs, but in this case, I don't see any other solution here. The Secret Hideout guys have 100% brought this on themselves. Nobody forced them to make shitty Star Trek shows filled with lore-breaking characters and storylines. Nobody forced them to prioritize the message over good storytelling, and nobody forced them to lash out and criticize the very fans they needed to win over. They are entering into the finding out stage of the fuck around process, and they've got no one to blame but themselves. Star Trek in its current form needs to die, because it's doing nothing except tarnishing its own legacy by continuing to exist. Maybe someday it can come back stronger and better than before, but let's be honest, that time is a long way off. For now, I'd settle for it being left to rest in peace.
I got a better idea than bringing back Star Trek. It's called Galaxy Born. It's time for a new take on science fiction exploring the stars. And hat tip, critical drinker. That's it. That's it for Star Trek. Now, Redoubt Productions put something in the Discord. Now, if you want to join us in the Discord, the link is in the description of the video. He put, this is 38 minutes. All right, 38 minutes. I think we're going to watch just like a couple minutes of it, just get a flavor of it. But it's the sins of millennial writing. It kind of caught my eye. Just real quickly, I just want to get a flavor of it. Let's roll tape.
This video is...
You know, I'm already annoyed. You begin the video with it's sponsored by my advertiser. How do channels like this survive?
Sponsored by Raycon.
Oh, guys, I recently watched the final boss of millennial writing. Star Trek Starfleet Academy is, without hyperbole, one of the worst shows that I've ever seen. Not worst Star Trek, because I don't really know enough to judge on that level. Worst show I've ever seen.
Are you sure?
Got a capable bearing.
Thank you. Your bearing is also impressive.
Oh, yes. Now, I'm going to keep coming back to that infected bedsore of a show because there are so many critiques to make, but as I trudged through it, I just kept thinking about how it was the most millennial thing I'd ever seen. But how does one define that exactly?
All right, it's winning me over. Greg Owen, Hat Tip Greg Owen. So it's in the Discord. Check it out. I would watch more of it, but since we already did a video on Starfleet Academy, I think it's best we just move on. I think we need something to close it out, chat. Okay. Sorry, mate. Sci-fi is dead, says Michael Archangel. You know, on that point, Michael Archangel, we differ. We truly do. We differ. So we'll see. We'll just see about that. Yeah, you know, I will say that I think one of the problems, I mean, it's not just science fiction. It's almost every genre. It's like superheroes. It's, James Bond style action movies even. It's a lot of these movies are struggling in this world of corporatized, safe entertainment, The Message. But the larger issue is William Shatner said something interesting about Star Trek, because there were people commenting on how we used to have a hopeful idea of the future. We used to have like hope for the future, sort of implying that things are much worse now. Things are very dystopian. We're very divided. And Shatner said, well, actually, when Star Trek came out, we dreamt of a better future because things at that time were so difficult. And because things were so dark and dismal, we had to imagine a better future, which is exactly what made Star Trek what it was. That's what made Star Trek something so beautiful, is that it was optimistic and it was looking forward. And that comes from a place of having something to say. Star Trek is all of its principles, all of its culture, its philosophy, all of it, whether they understood this consciously or not, it is derived from Western civilizational values, from the Enlightenment, from rationalism, from the very cultures that gave rise to the United States Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Magna Carta, those documents that codified the ideas of like human rights and justice and things like that. Innocent until proven guilty, the Hippocratic Oath. Those are Western civilizational values that are all enshrined and embodied in original Star Trek. And part of why Kurtzman Trek is so perverse is because wokeness is antithetical to those ideas. Wokeness is a psychopathic, pathological, hyper-ideological control cult, essentially. It is the worship of the physical and the identitarian. It deploys all of the tools in the dictator's arsenal: censorship, intimidation, shame, a lust for power. I mean, all of those things are contained within wokeness, also known as critical race theory, also known as identity politics, also known as third wave feminism, modernism, you name it. All of those things, they are asymmetrical in their application of equality and rights. It is a malevolent and psychopathic worldview, which doesn't believe in things like equal justice for all, which doesn't actually believe in the idea of freedom of speech. It just doesn't. And so it's incapable of describing the language of what Star Trek once was. And in turn, to create a science fiction show or a fantasy show or a superhero show that embodies those ideals, it would have to be coming from a place that understands those ideals of Western civilization. I think that the comic book character is kind of dead. In the sense of like the classic superhero like Peter Parker, Batman, Superman. I think that the reason that guys like James Gunn seem to have no ability to create these characters authentically on screen, and because, Tom Holland's Spider-Man just seems so vapid in so many ways, is because we no longer believe in the ideals upon which those characters were founded. Comic book stories were themselves a mythology. that was describing a belief system. Just as old Western films. The Western was about the self-reliant, rugged individual who refused to bow down to the mob and to give up that individuality, who stood up to evil and injustice. That was the ethos, the ethics that Western films represented. And when those ethics became old-fashioned and fell out of fashion, so did the Western. And so it is with the comic book character, so it is with the science fiction character, which is exactly why none of those things are truly dead, because the moment that a new story can actually describe a true philosophical framework that resonates with people, they will be resurgent. So, in my work with Galaxyborn, I don't think of it as I'm trying to do Star Trek, or I'm trying to do a classic Isaac Asimov science fiction story, or I don't think of it that way. I think of it as, what is the mythological and philosophical framework on which our future should be founded? And how will this story inhabit that? And to be fair, that's kind of a very high-level look at it. Nothing like that is going to be described in the story, because the story is just a story. But that's kind of the background, the distant background. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to make it something unique. It is going to be optimistic, but not in that sort of, utopian way that Star Trek was. But neither is it going to be this grim, dark slog, cynical slog like, Starship Troopers, for example, which I love Starship Troopers. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to emulate those. I'm trying to do something new, and I want it to describe what I see as a future for humanity that we can look forward to in these dark times, and we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what you think about it, my dear audience. So the work shall continue. Put a chick in it, make them gay, Michael Archangel says. No, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. I take that back. There will be chicks in Galaxyborn, and they will all be gay. No, I'm just... this is my first officer on the ship, May Bayala. She is a Capruan. So yeah, no chicks in it that are lame and gay. Put another diverse chick in it, make her more lame. Okay, we need one to close it out. So should we do a Jeremy and Ryan nuclear meltdown, or should we do Critical Drinker analyzing why the Two Towers ending is the greatest scene ever? Which one should we do? The Jeremy and Ryan Dave Filoni nuclear debate is kind of a long one, so I'm not going to do all of it, but I have to tell you, watching them fight does sound pretty funny. I need to see where's the most action in the video. Ryan, Jeremy, Dave Filoni argument, or why the Two Towers ending is the greatest scene ever. Come on, chat, help me out. Don't make me flip a coin. All right, share screen, Mr. Producer. Captain's got to call it. Captain's got to make an executive decision. Audio enabled. Okay, let's just check this out.
I don't hate Rebels. I think Rebels is a major step down from the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But
it's a pretty big step down. There are some Rebels episodes that are very good. Very good. DABE, says Darth Merlin. I don't know what that means.
It was fine, But yeah, see, none of this matters. There's nothing they can do to make me care or anything. Nothing.
I think most people who like Rebels, ironically, only really like it when the characters they like from Clone Wars show up, which just...
All right, Michael Archangel says, angry Ryan for the win. So here we go. I'm very excited for this.
shows you that it's like key jankling from a different series, which in my opinion also sucked. But like that's like the stuff that people really love from Rebels for the most.
That's pretty reasonable
I just
so
think
far.
Rebels. There was nothing offensively bad in Rebels. There was a couple of minor things. You could point, yeah, you could point shit like that out. But
All right, the helicopter lightsabers is dumb. But wasn't that in Clone Wars too? I feel like that was in Clone Wars also, but maybe not. So you know what? The more I think about it, Rebels did have a lot of annoying. I really hated how Saturday morning cartoon it was. It was worse than the Clone Wars in that way. But when it did have episodes like the episode where Darth Vader is in his TIE fighter and he tears apart an entire Rebel fleet without any help, just by himself, it was so cool. And like the run of episodes where Darth Vader's kind of coming after him and they just have to flee, they have to run away from him. Stuff like that was cool. But that was about every fourth or fifth episode.
But I mean,
Thrawn,
and I did enjoy the Loathe cats. I really wanted a Loathe cat. I wanted to pet one.
This was definitely not
Space
treated
whales.
well.
Yeah.
Ahsoka not getting immediately murked by Darth Vader. Darth Maul coming back once a fucking again.
That's fair.
Ahsoka survived.
But the fact that Kanan and Ezra had to flee was cool. But he's right. So Ahsoka should have also been fleeing.
Surviving what happened. Ahsoka using essentially time travel to do all these things. There was nothing highly offensive about it. Are we fucking kidding?
I mean, you sound like a prequel hater bitching about the prequels, but I'm talking about from an
I'm kind of halfway between Ryan and Jeremy on this one. Like, I don't think I liked it as much as Jeremy, but I don't think I hated it as much as Ryan.
Identity politics bullshit.
I don't like
like I'm talking about from
everywhere.
Who just happen to be fucking good at everything and their pink hair and spray paint and feels the fucking dark saber. Another powerful random Mary Sue all powerful.
Actually, the episode where they meet the old clone troopers, like what was it? It was like Rex. They find Rex on the. That was a cool episode. So yeah, no, Rebels had its moments. It had its moments for sure.
Female character that Dave Filoni then even gives force powers to.
All these guys that knew more about Star Wars than George Lucas during the prequels. Lucas ruined the prequels. You ruined my childhood, and now do you want Lucas Star Wars back? Don't you? Because all of a sudden you love George Lucas again. So I've always loved George Lucas' Star Wars.
Jeremy's he made a mistake with the prequels, man.
Clone Wars is George Lucas.
He's losing it. He's losing it.
Some of the dumbest things that George Lucas has ever either decided or allowed to be put out.
Like some of the prequels.
It's 100% George Lucas.
My comments about Rebels have anything to do with you speaking about your love for George Lucas?
I said
he is a man of such fury, of such rage, it must be seen to be believed. He is the angriest man on the internet.
Offensively bad, meaning the things that we hate about Disney Star Wars. The shit you're bitching about is the same shit that people were complaining about the prequels, which is what we all want back. We want those.
I don't want the prequels back.
He's so mad. Oh my God, he's so mad.
In both the Clone Wars and then when he got his own shit in Rebels. I have been banging this fucking drum for almost 20 goddamn years, and I have been right about it the entire time. Every day that passes, I am more right about it. So don't pretend. Don't come in with this straw man argument about me basically being just like a prequel hater when everything I said, like fucking, who is that motherfucker that predicted all that shit? Nicodemus, whoever the fuck it was, that's me, motherfucker.
I am the man that knows. What have we consistently said? We want to get back to nerd arguments. Nerd arguments are not offensively bad. Offensively bad shit is agenda-driven bullshit that ruins everything. You're mainly talking about nerd shit that you're pissed off about in Rebels. That's mainly your argument. And that's what we all want to fucking argue about.
Bro, my point about
that is mainly your
the most
fucking lightsaber helicopters and fucking space whales and all that shit. That's what we want to
he's gonna get so mad. He's gonna get so mad that Jeremy's talking over it. He's tuning him up even more. I predict Ryan's about to hit the red line because Jeremy won't let him talk.
what we want
being
to
able
argue
actually use
about.
time travel to do all these things. Sabine Wren being pushed
That's
away.
nerd shit. This is nerd shit. This is nerd shit. This is all nerd shit. This is all fucking loser.
Oh, he's about to blow it. He's gonna blow his stack. I can feel it.
Nerd shit. All of this. Yes, it fucking
Jeremy,
is.
are you reading my mind?
It's all nerd shit. All this shit you're crying about is nerd shit. Every fucking bit of it, which is what we want back.
What we're talking about is Dave Filoni's agenda to promote female characters and femininity above and to subvert masculinity.
What does that got to do with helicopter lightsabers? What does that got to do with helicopter lightsabers? What does that got to do with helicopter lightsabers?
Correct. My one thing that I said about helicopter
Time
lightsabers
travel.
doesn't
Time
fall
travel.
into
What does that got to do with the female agenda? Time travel. What's it got to do with the female agenda?
Having it be Ahsoka who's able to...
That's irrelevant. See, Nick, you're conflating one thing into the other.
Oh, no, it's not.
No.
Never let die.
Wait, bringing Darth Maul back is the female agenda? Is bringing Darth Maul back part of the female agenda? Is bringing Darth Maul back part of the female agenda?
No, bringing Darth Maul back is not part of the female agenda.
The female agenda, not nerd shit. So which is it? You were bitching about nerd shit.
I am talking about everything.
Bringing back
to
Darth
try to
Maul
fix
is
the
not
handful of
female
things that I
agenda.
said that weren't part of that when I was just talking about a bunch of problems in the series.
A bunch of nerd shit.
I've been making about Dave Filoni forever. And it's quite frankly sad and pathetic that this is still going on because
That's
everyone
what you
can
were
see it's a
complaining
fucking
about.
straw man.
That's what you were complaining about. Prequel
Jeremy's
nerd
trying
shit.
so hard not to lose this. This is great.
I'm not.
We've already heard about this slur filter. That's like maximum.
My point stands. He shifted it from nerd shit to female agenda. What part of that is Darth Maul? Are lightsaber helicopters or time travel? That's
I
not
would
female
say he
agenda shit.
discussed all of the problems.
You've been crying
he had.
about Darth Maul returning
And they're
for as long
separate.
as I've fucking known you. That's a George Lucas decision, not a Dave Filoni decision.
100%. And when have I ever said that that's totally on Dave Filoni? I've said I think that's one of the worst decisions George Lucas has ever made. But you can't pick and choose just a handful of things.
This is the dumbest argument
all the other
ever.
shit I've said and pretend like every
Please
single
tell
thing
me-
we're talking about is just
Ryan,
straight nerd shit.
Please tell me where you have pointed to that being a George Lucas decision, not a Filoni problem. Darth Maul coming back. You've switched blame to try acting like George Lucas is not responsible for the Clone Wars, because he is.
Oh, George Lucas is. And
Then why do you shift it to
the worst
Dave?
decisions
Then why are you
that George
shifting it to
Lucas has
Dave?
ever made has been regarding the Clone Wars, whether that's the creation of Ahsoka in general, bringing Darth Maul back to life. And I've said that multiple times, even recently in a video talking about Star Wars.
So then why do
I
you
mentioned
always
that.
say Dave Filoni is responsible for the Clone Wars and not George Lucas? Because it was George Lucas's vision. It was George Lucas in charge of all of that, not Dave fucking Filoni. It was George.
Dave Filoni was very impactful in what they did, especially in the later seasons of Clone Wars. And not to say that George was absent. George was not absent. He was reviewing every fucking thing. They walk it by him and he'd say, hey, maybe change that, maybe that, change that, and go.
So then why do you shift it to Dave, but you don't want to shift it to Kathleen?
You think I'm taking everything away from Kathleen Kennedy as if I think that Kathleen Kennedy's some great leader? It's just Dave Filoni? No. The idea that people keep coming back to this shit, that, oh, Dave Filoni doesn't want to force this shit in there. Dave Filoni's not trying.
I almost envy Ryan. He's so free with his rage. He's so unfettered. He's so it's like watching a bald eagle just soar above the treetops. You just envy the freedom of that feathered beast. And you just think, if only I could take flight and soar like that. If only I could spread my wings of rage. It's just I can't. We don't all have the luxury of being this filled with rage.
Trying to do this.
I said he's a cuck and he'll do whatever.
He's not a woke piece of shit. It's just because he wants to please Kathleen Kennedy is bullshit. It's letting Dave Filoni off the hook. It's letting this smug,
piece of garbage who stood up there at that feminist fucking conference and shit all over Star Wars fans, shit all over people like you, people like me, people in this chat.
Yeah, I guess all joking. I 100% agree with Ryan here. I am 100% Team Ryan on this part.
Think that that's just because a Kathleen Kennedy made him say that, and that is letting him off the hook.
So he gets all the blame for the Clone Wars, and George doesn't. But he also gets all the credit for Disney Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy.
History. So stop trying to revert
it
back
fits your
to that
narrative.
bullshit
It
black
fits
and white
your
argument.
narrative.
We're not
It fits
having
your
a black
narrative.
and white argument.
If it's your narrative, you keep saying that Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. You never say George Lucas's Clone Wars. You say Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. Because it's a
do say
narrative
Dave
you're building.
Filoni's Clone Wars when I'm talking about Dave Filoni.
Right, but it's never George Lucas's Clone Wars. He had no.
God, I had so many arguments like this with my friends when I was a kid. I had so many arguments like this. It just takes me back.
Nothing to do with
and just this heated, just this passionate and furious. In fact, I remember having this argument about the scale. Unfortunately, I wasn't a kid when I had this argument. I remember having this argument with a friend of mine about the scale of the Enterprise in the 2009 Star Trek movie. And I was arguing that the fan interpretation that the J.J. Abrams design was like ginormous and was way bigger than the Sovereign class ship. And I remember that my friend was saying, "Oh, he absolutely mangled the design, and it's like if you analyze it, it's like 10 times the size." And I said, it just looks that way in the movie. That's not really the canon. And we just had a knockdown, drag out argument like this over that.
When it's the time to shit on it.
A ton of blame and criticism on George Lucas for his decision.
If you know anything about George Lucas, he had ultimate control of everything that happened in Star Wars.
Do I have to say this before you fucking realize it?
I think that you have a very skewed vision of Dave, and when it
Jeremy is being such an asshole. He's being he's so condescending. He keeps misquoting what Ryan is saying, but he's like, you know what he is? He's 100%. He's like, calm down energy right now. He's like, calm down. And Ryan's like, don't tell me to be calm.
It fits your narrative. You blame him. And when it doesn't, you blame someone else. That's it.
I think that my vision of Dave Filoni has proved to be prophesized, right? Because my vision of Dave Filoni.
Okay, let's go back to wait.
It's extreme.
Let's go. Here we go. I want to go back to the F&T.
Like Rebels, and now. Like, you probably love Dave Filoni. You want, Jeremy, I'll find you in a video or a fucking live stream one of the many times I've said that, and I will fucking timestamp it for you, and I will fucking DM it to you, and I will make sure that
you need to publicly post that, Ryan. That's what you need to do.
Me and you have had this argument 100 times, and you have never applied that to Lucas.
That is so untrue.
That is not true.
Jeremy.
That is not true.
George Lucas signed up on that, and it's one of the worst things he fucking could have done. The last fucking video I think I made, the culmination thing about Dave Filoni, I think I even mentioned it in that video.
Every time we've argued about it.
You know what's funny is, what would it be like to be Dave Filoni watching this? I think it'd be incredibly entertaining. I think it'd be incredibly entertaining to be the guy they're arguing about.
I always bring George up, and you never want to apply it to him until I force you to. It's always
Jeremy
Filoni,
is
Filoni,
so
Filoni.
wrong.
Filoni,
Right, the thing that makes Ryan's rage here even funnier is that he's justified because Jeremy is totally misremembering his arguments.
My cereal this morning.
Not here. We're talking about the Mandalorian, and then we're talking about a Rebel.
Everything I've ever done in my life. Filoni,
because he wasn't there.
Filoni.
This is modern entertainment. What a world we live in. Do you know how I got into watching YouTube? Because for years, I didn't watch. It was because I ran out of good shows to watch. There were no good movies, no good shows. so much is slop now that I started watching YouTube videos for entertainment, and this is how I discovered this whole world. You know what? And it's like, it's kind of amazing when you think about
Doing
it.
everything that's ever happened. You moved to Chicago, to Chicago. You did everything wrong in your life.
What? Can you say that again? I missed that straw man. Can you repeat it?
He moved the Bears out of the Chicago now. It's Filoni's fault.
I don't care about that. I have no problem with the Bears leaving Chicago, you stupid fuck. I grew up 15 minutes away from Hammond, Indiana.
you're
The
mad about
Democrats
them
in
leaving
Chicago and
Soldier Field.
Illinois, they couldn't get the fucking funding for the Bears. I'm
you
good
say
with
you
it.
want them out of
What
Soldier
the fuck
Field?
are you talking about?
You want him out of Soldier Field?
What?
You want him out of Soldier
They're now arguing about the Bears leaving Chicago. This is such a disaster.
Field?
Hell no. But if they're going to move somewhere, might as well be Indiana.
Welcome to Sports
But
Wars.
again, this has nothing to do with George Lucas.
Dave Filoni did everything wrong when it comes to Star Wars. That's Ryan's.
And who
argument.
hired him?
George fucking Lucas.
There you
All right, we'll leave it there. That was epic. That was amazing. It's not even over, which is the incredible part. Yeah, that was very satisfying. The Bears, yes, Redoubt. Redoubt has come back. Redoubt cannot stay away. He really can't. That is, oh my God. I've needed that. I needed a dose of Ryan's unremitting rage. There's just nothing like it, folks. There's nothing like it at all. Where is my volume, Mr. Producer? That is our show for tonight. That is our edition of the Captain's Cast number 151. Well, I thought we'd just hang out and chill a little bit. Celebrate the wins. Oh, we've got them on the run, folks. I know we've got a long way to go. I know it's the war to win back our culture. It's far from over. But you know something? I don't know about you, but I feel the tide turning, and I'm enjoying it. So take heart, men. We march on. I am Captain Garrett of the Swords of Starships channel. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this content, please put a like on the video. Sponsored by Galaxyborn, my upcoming science fiction novel, galaxyborn.com. That's www.galaxyborn.com. That's how they would say it in the 90s. www. Go now. And until next time, my dear sailors and starnauts, this is Captain Garrett saying I will see you out there.